And there it is, my little bullet. Yes, it's done awfully well for us. I did an article about this fly in 2011 for Fly Fishing and Fly Tying magazine because I dreamt it. I know, it's a worry, isn't it? And I gave 4 of them to 4 chums and they fished them for, I don't know, I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks, and they caught 120 trout and grayling over that period. One of the chums was Neil Patterson, and I said, "What do you think of it? You've done awfully well with it." He says, "Yes, it works so well, it takes the fun out of fishing." I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Anyway, it certainly works well, and this year I thought I would try a Mayfly immerger version of the bullet, and I've started it here. But let me show you what I'm going to use. I used some light deer hair, this stuff here, which also comes from Fly Tying Boutique. No, I don't have shares, it's just they do some rather good stuff. Some hairy ice dub in peacock will be the thorax. The body will be Fly-Right bright yellow. The hook is a Fulling Mill Living Lava size 12. Jolly good hook it is too. And the thread is Vivus Geo1 GSP 75, whatever that is. It's jolly good is what it is, I'll tell you. Right, what you do is this. You tie in the deer hair, pointing forward over the eye, and the amount of deer hair should be, what should we say, a fat matchstick's worth, okay? And the length of that should be a little bit longer than the hook shank. And you tie it down very, very hard indeed behind the eye. And you'll need about 4 or 5 really, really heavy turns. And when you finish doing that, all the deer hair that's over will be sticking up in the air. So get hold of it and cut it at an angle and bind it down, and then you get a nice tapered body like this, okay? Nice tapered body. We like that. The next thing to do is to get a black CDC feather like this and be totally brutal. Rip the fibres from one side, because this is going to form the rib. It's also an idea of Ian Mackenzie's, which I shall claim for my own in the fullness of time. Right, now then, I'm going to tie this in at the back of the hook like this. There we are, lovely. Come back down and prepare your thread for the dubbing. You want your thread to be nice and flat, no twists in it. Let's have a look at that. Yes, that'll be fine. You take your sewing machine needle and a little noodle of the Fly-Right bright yellow dubbing, which I've got here, and that's what you're going to place in between the thread. Sewing machine needle, split the thread. There we are. One split thread. One noodle into the split thread. It can be a little bit awkward, this. And maybe traditional dubbers will tell you, "Oh, we'll have dubbed it by then." Good, glad to hear it. I'm not in a hurry. I was in a hurry for 30 years. I stopped doing that ages ago. And now I just tie flies in a leisurely manner. Yes, I know. Spin the bobbin. Talk amongst yourselves. Make a cup of tea. Come back when it's ready. Good. And then carefully wind it forward up the length of the body. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more there. 6, 7, 8. There we go. And tie it down. Now we'll probably come back a little way over that because we want to have a nice thorax. Let's have a look at that. Yes, that's looking better. We'll take our hackle pliers, which someone has actually stolen. No, there they are. Good. Nobody leave the building. Attach it to the CDC feather and wind carefully forward in open turns. You tie that down nice and tightly, because what you don't want is it coming unravelled and you'd look such a prawn. There it is, good. Snip it off, the waist that is, not the thread, please God. That's it. And prepare once again to, let's look at that side, yeah. See all these little fibres? They're going to sit under the wing and they're going to be so sexy and the fish are going to love it. Park the thread behind the wing. Voila. Actually, try and tease these fibres back because you don't get them caught in the dubbing. That's it. And make sure your thread is untangled. Now, as I say, the what we use for the thorax is a little hairy ice dubbing peacock, and you take it out and you make a little noodle from it. An interesting technique. Here we go. Look like this. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. That's all we need. Thank you very much. Continue noodling it until it looks like that. There we go. Right. Split the thread again. Oh, lovely. Place the hairy ice dub within. Close the loop and spin the bobbin once more. It's beginning to look like a fly now. I can tell you these, they go mad for these. They really do. They go absolutely potty for them. I think my chum and I, we must have caught at least a couple of dozen fish on these. Oof, there's the rope. Ready? Here we go. We're going to wind it back. Any of you who've never tried splitting the thread, you really should try this Vivus. I got mine, I think, from Funky Fly Tying. There's another really good firm, carries some great stuff. Funky Fly Tying, look them up. Now, the nice bit, take the wing, pull it back and make one relatively loose turn over the hair, like that. Okay? Then come slightly in front with another one, like that. Hopefully it won't flare up. And another one in front of that one, like that. Right, what do I need? Yes, the whip finish tool. Here we go. 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Tighten up. Thank you very much indeed. Take your bodkin. Oh, actually, you can cut off your thread first. You want that hanging there, do you? Lovely. Come on then. Take your bodkin and pick out some of this dubbing. You won't be able to see it until I turn the fly back. But that represents all the little legs and bits and pieces. I don't think it makes any difference when I do it because I like it. And why not? You've got a couple of little funny bits sticking up there. We're going to nib those off. No, okay, come away. All right. There's only one thing left for me to do now, and that is to add a little bit of the old Bug Bond Light. There it is. Bug Bond Light. We're going to put it over the head and over the wraps because then it stops those little fishes gnawing it. And I assure you they will gnaw it. It just gives a little more life to the fly. You will notice in a minute that I've not got my new super duper electric torch here today. An oversight on my part, but never mind. What I'm going to use is the old torch, which works jolly well, but of course you have to keep changing the batteries. There we are, quick zap, about 10 seconds or so. Whoa. I love this fly, I really love it. You should see it from underneath. Go on, jump in the river, I dare you. No, there we are. Bom, bom. There you go, all done. Now, if you'd like to see a lot more flies, a lot more fun, and a lot more of my stuff, go to my website. It's at www.chrissandford.com.